You see this? Here, this is virtual dub. Okay. And look at the file name. It's not a AVI file, and this is not using any AVI synth or anything like that. You can open up MPEG files, MPEG2 files, which is like a DVD type format, in virtual dub. It's a different kind of format. For instance, you never see a K for keyframe. They use I guess the proper letters, or the letters that correspond to what type of frame the thing is. This says I, so that would mean an image frame. Sometimes you see this P and B. P is a predicted frame. That is, this image was predicted. It wasn't stored in the file. And B is an image that was predicted, well, same as P, except there's two kinds of predictive images. And one kind, the P, is predicted from the past, and B is predicted from both the past and the future, if I remember correctly. So this image was made up of some estimation from what's going to happen in the future. The next one must be an image frame. No, it's not. Also by, and then a P. Now, I don't know how it generates maybe it generates a bunch of P's and then does a second run through to make the P's, like a more refined estimation, how we get. An image frame is essentially a key frame. There's an image stored at this location in the file. It's this picture, right? But that costs money. What's stored instead, it's not like those animated GIFs. I thought that changes in the image were stored, but it's not like that at all. I don't know if I can show it on here. They use motion vectors for the various pixels, I guess, and you can get an image of those, of all the little arrows. Like if it was displayed now, you would see a whole bunch of arrows of varying length everywhere. And the arrows it's like a fluid, right? And the arrows are predicting, telling you which way each section of the image is currently tending towards, right? And so to make the image, to go to the next image, you just, you have basically a velocity and you have a time, so you can predict where these pixels will be on the next frame. But of course, things get brighter and darker, and so there must be a hidden arrow that has to do with color, right, and brightness. Anyway, I could never open these kinds of files before, and I could never play these files. This one, for instance, now does it show properties? Well, I can show you the properties here. The audio is not MP3 like before, which was the only thing I could handle. Now I can put AC3 audio in here, and I can have AVC, videos in here, like the kind you get from YouTube, MP4 files. Although it won't open, it won't open them as MP4 files for some stupid reason. You have to get some other program to put the container header on, because nobody's added that feature to this. Well, someone might have. I didn't know about this MP2 thing until just a few days ago. And somebody said, "Oh yeah, just download this plugin," which I did, and I put it where it goes. And here, yes, here. You just all you got to do is copy this file here, and it works. It doesn't work on everything though. I made this MPEG file from a VOP file, which I don't know if I can open those. Could try it, but actually you have to wait a while to load them. But actually, I'm curious about something. Smaller. I have a preset for this particular video. Now, how does that look? I wasn't using an MPEG file, I was using an AVI file. It doesn't look too bad. It's slow to scan through the frame. See all this graininess here. It's not too bad that it's there. It covers up other artifacts a little bit. And I got a lot of sharpening going on, crazy things here. Oh, I don't need this. No, I don't need this. I'm already at 30. This might be needed. Put this off. See what this gives. It runs a lot faster now, right? You see that? This, well, you see how weird it looks? The reason it looks weird like that is because of those odd and even scan lines. They don't line up, right? And the way I fixed that, is this the one? Configure, discard. I am discarding. Oh, I see. I double, right? Here's this double the frame rate. So now it runs at half speed and it looks a bit weird. And now this here is supposed to throw away the bottom field. So I don't know. The image it is 240. Okay. If I get rid of this, you see what I've got now, right? This thing. Now, if I just I could make it just go to 640 again. So, that or Blanco, so let's try both. Okay. Now that's at double frame rate. Then what I do is bring the frame rate back to 30. Let's move this out. Put this here. Not 30, it's 29.97, the original. And you see how much that clears it up? Like it's night and day. Now this is at 640 by 480, and now if I sharpen this, whenever I'm just about to resize something, I throw in a sharpen first. Add another resize. 200%. Is that right? No. 150%. Now this is at the desired resolution, 720p. But well, for one thing, it's slow to walk through this. But you can see it's quite grainy. You take this thing. I don't think it needs to be very high at all. Just slightly, a little bit. See how it's taking away that stuff? Not quite high. Maybe it does need to be that high. I mean, over sharpen it. And it's starting to look decent, right? But it can get even better. If you get this, if you get these numbers right. Maybe like just, maybe that's too much, bring it down. Alright, and then turn this off for a minute. For like sharpening is sort of an on-off, like a binary thing. There's no point in. As soon as you notice it's sharper, that's good enough. Similarly for this thing. No, it's not. Oh, it's not on. No, it's not. It's usually quite a bit more sensitive than that. Maybe this thing is what does that. I want to get rid of these lines. That came from the sharpening. Over sharpen. But if you over smooth it, then it looks blurry. That's the balance. The difficult balance to find is to make something look sharp, but not artifact sharp, and to make things look smooth, like glass. Things that are a glass type texture should retain that. And some of these go somewhere else. You see, I know that this is getting close because at this distance I can see the detail in the face, and you should be able to, for high definition, far away scene, you should be able to see some detail in the face. Low definition, you wouldn't see any. This one has some detail, so it's pretty good. Just the original is pretty good, and this is not the same size as the original. It's a little bit too sharp, right? But I have a couple sharp ones to work with. That's it. I have them at different stages. It's a bit blurry. Or maybe it's better than before. Now, I might not even need all this extra thing. Sometimes I find that I start giving up and I just sort of say, oh, let's go back to the starting point. And that the starting point essentially is including this, something like here. Right, it's quite grainy. Now the question is, why is it grainy? This is not grainy. Why do I get grainy on this side? And I don't know the answer to that question. This thing is made up of lines, right? One thing that I may have found backwards is this doubler could come after the resize. That might make it, oh, that did make a difference. It's still grainy, but less. Quite a bit better, but still. It's like the doublers. Maybe I'm not using the right kind. This is a different kind that's supposed to get better as you go along. Oh, it is getting better. Now, see what I mean? Like, you gotta play with these things. Now, I think I could just resize this all the way up to 720p. This should say 960. Not precision. Anyway, oh, specific. No, it's not as good anymore. Oh, but it's the adapter hasn't kicked in. See that? The adapting thing really works. At first it was all bad, and now it's getting better. But it's jerky. Here's a close-up shot. See how ugly this looks? Step a few frames, and okay, now we're back to this thing. We get rid of that thing. Required this step. And this one. Right. What about the stuff that was there? Discard. Oh no, I have to interpolate first. I think. Yeah, that's it. Now look at that. That's a pretty good image. This is at 720p, and it's almost sharp. See? It's not as good as the original. The original, if I could get these lines to match up, this image would collapse into a perfect image. But I don't know any software to do it. All you gotta do is move this back right to what it started at. You could throw. I've thrown away lines, and it still doesn't help. Well, I don't throw them away. Just interpolate and start. Don't do that stuff. Not too bad. Now it's using both, but they're not exactly lined up, and that's giving it this. Is this blurry? A little bit, yeah. So it's supposed to be blurry. It's almost right, but not exact. What is? Well, this isn't perfectly clear either, is it? Maybe it's about the same. This might be the one for my next show right there. I'm putting together these videos for another channel I have, and I had nothing to do with that channel, so I started putting up these fun, cool videos. And a lot of people seem to enjoy them, so I'll keep at it. Oh. No, the wrong spot. The last episode to another channel, I can only put 15-minute videos, and this is an hour-long program. This is where I'm supposed to start. The next iframe. Now, how can that have been predicted? Oh, here it is. Okay. It says I. The image is not the one you're looking at. It's the next image. It's just this program doesn't seem to display it. Right? No. Well, I went to the wrong one. Now, how can that be predicted? I just went back one. If it's predicted, it should at least be backwards predicted. I don't know. There's an image here. I think it's supposed to cut on the images. I don't know. I could be wrong. Now what I want to do is test this. There's a small amount to here, say. Now in direct, I can't use direct mode because I've had to resize and crop and all that sort of thing, and all its filters. So what I do instead is I use this Video for Windows H.264 Advanced Codec blah 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 thing, which is a multi-pass encoder, and you can put in these command line things, and I know what some of these do. For instance, you've always got to make sure that you use uneven multi-hexagonal pyramid partition. No, it's a ME means matrix something. a type of matrix. It's better worded in the other program. I have to kind of combine these two programs to get a good result. This thing doesn't have as many encoder. Well, it has them all, but it's in the form of a command line, right? Whereas the other one, that's trying to start out, has some more descriptive things. Same thing. See, here. No, that's not it. This is what you want. Here, motion estimation. Yeah. The way. Oh, this thing can show you those vectors. Do that. This here should be uneven multi-hexagonal, apparently best. There are B frames and P frames and I frames. And I read all about it actually. But is this the one? I took some notes. Motion estimation, vector range, right? It's all to do with these vectors. That's how these advanced codecs work. Now this has to do with searching. In making these, in building these predicted frames, right? The better you search when you're doing the encoding, but the further ahead you search, and the broader area and in time, I guess, that you search, the better the result will be. But then it takes a lot longer. Apparently, this should always be off. 8 by 4, 4 by 8. These ones are, these are the same. Okay. I guess if you're doing this 16, what's the point of doing this one? You've already covered that range. So I don't know why this should be on. If it's doing 8 by 8, why do 4 by 4? So that's probably, that should probably be off. This here. Oh, yeah. What is this thing saying? It's my command line. No, that's the wrong program. Anyway, what else is there in here? You see, this tells you more about what these things might mean. This apparently should be off. If this is on, you should turn this off. And this is a highly, this is a higher quality, and this is pretty good quality. Oh yeah, off and on. Okay, this is off or on. On. I never noticed that this was related to that. I wonder what I should be setting there. Anyway, there are more options, obviously, for me, because I don't know what all the switches are, to use this program to set up like an encoding where I don't want to do anything to the size or anything like that. Like this thing also has these filters. I don't have a video in here. I have to put a video inside. Filters are post and pre and post operations. Okay. See, it doesn't have much. Although this Bob double, I think, seems to work better than this one. But who knows? Who knows? This preview is useless. The thing about advanced video codec really is that all the real everything's going on in here rather than with those filters. But you need a filter if you want to do a resize, right? But this other program is much better when it comes to filters. Now, I wonder if we can see some of the arrows. Let's see now. You maybe? I've seen them before. You can make them come out. I hate this thing. I hate putting it. Why put a menu there that's empty? Here, another one, right? I haven't put anything in there. I've seen them before. I know it's possible. Ah, here. No, where are they? Ah, there they are. See that? These are these are showing where the fluid is moving. Right? It got lots of motion here. Now it's not showing any motion on that one. That was probably, this is an image frame. It has to be. Doesn't say. Anyway, I can see. Or, well, it may not be. No, it has to be. Right? This was calculated by taking this image, right, and taking the difference from some reference points that are obviously at even intervals, right, of what it saw. Here it looks like there's a great big arrow this way. That would seem to be. Is there anything unique? I mean, why aren't these arrows, the hands, the biggest ones? Here, why isn't this? It seems like they're pointing the wrong way. Let me find something easy to understand. What are these mean? Oh, because of the dust. See, it's thinking that the dust is important. These are not showing any motion. There's some here because there are problems with the video. It's not clean. See that? Now I just moved backwards and it's not the same picture. It's building it as I go back and forward. It seems to, wow. Now, see that? All these arrows seem to be pointing the right way. They're all saying that everything is moving in that direction. They are. And I move ahead in time. Are they? No, they're not. They went the wrong way. They're all wrong. But from here, it seems like it's going to continue going that way, but it doesn't. It stops. Now it's guessing up and down. Cool, right? That's fun to play with these things. We'll try to understand how it works. And I forget where I found this. The article explained all about the different I and P and B frames. I-frames, I said, are like key frames. I found this page that gave a lot of good rules of thumb, sort of. The number of I-frames should be approximately the frame rate, right? And this GOP size, whatever it is, its value should just be 10 times the value of the other one. Easy to figure out, right? Lower value, more aggressive, okay. Scene cut threshold. When a scene changes, like when it changed from his face to the piano, that's where you want to place an image frame, right? But to detect these a change in scene costs time, right? So this setting, I guess, represents the amount of time that it should wait before attempting to see if it's found a new scene, right? If it thinks the scene changed. It may not be measuring in time, it might be measuring in frames or something, but whatever. The smaller the value, the more frequently the encoder is trying to detect a scene change. And then that's where it's going to put an I-frame. See? That's where you want to put it, on a scene change. Then you don't have to put more image data in, right? You have a scene change, and then starting with that one picture, the rest is most of it is predicted. But if you miss, right, then you have to store twice as many scenes. So this actually doesn't increase the quality. This increases or decreases the size required to store it. I guess I don't have any more in here. Spatial B. Where did I read that? B frame, P frame stuff. Must be here somewhere. I don't know. P frame. This stuff is so popular. Everybody knows the lingo nowadays. This is obviously where I was looking. Yeah, everybody's trying to make movies and stuff for fun. It's a fun thing to do. And unfortunately, the technology is quite complicated. So you're stuck trying to figure out what the hell, how many macro blocks do I need? Okay, now let's see. The word helps. Intra-coded, predicted, bidirectional predicted. I was right. B is bidirectional predicted. Frames or slices, I see. And I are image. No, intra-coded. I thought it was image. Picture frames. Once a picture is often picture marginal notion can be a frame or a field. A frame is a complete image, and a field is the set of odd, for the interlacing. Frames that are used as reference for predicting other frames are called reference frames. I see. In such designs, the frames that are coded without prediction from other frames are called the iframes. I was right. Although it might not be an image, it's not being predicted. So, however it's encoded, it's maybe not an actual picture. It could be some other, compressed thingamajigamy, but it's not. It doesn't depend on the left or the right. Frames that use prediction from a single reference, or a single frame, are called T-frame. Okay. Frames that use a prediction signal that is formed as maybe an average are called, I see, it's not bidirectional necessarily. It says bidirectional, but that's not true. It could be bidirectional or unidirectional, according to this, right? Frames that use a prediction signal that is formed as a weighted average of two reference frames. Oh, I see. You can have two reference frames. So a B couldn't be formed from a P, right? And a P from a single reference. So following an I, this is B. That's a bidirectional predictor. Here's a P. The next one's going to have to be an I. It's not. It's a B. I don't get it. It just said a single. This is I. Okay, not predicted. Frames that use predictions from a single reference. Oh, I see. It doesn't matter. Okay. So it could be predicted from a single reference frame, but you could still have more than one, right? In a row, if not much is happening. Or prediction single frame for prediction of each region. Okay, whatever, called B frame. Frames it uses. Oh, I see. The frame is the whole thing, and all that it's using for reference is a single iframe, right? So this is using at least two references. This is using only one reference frame. It would have to be the iframe we just saw. This is using more than one, more than one, more than one. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, more than one, more. They seem to be almost equal. There seems to be almost an equal amount of each. Sorry, I'm wasting your time. I'll put this in my VDub tutorial if I haven't lost the audio.